So we are going to be looking for the first mention of, my goodness, Men of Stone. So I've already went through the first journal. We're going through, this is the second one. I'm probably a few pages in. I don't really remember. But how do I make this bigger? How do I make it bigger? I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just kind of looking through and trying to find any mention of the Men of Stone. Oh, I can't full screen this. That's dumb. So yeah, I'm not gonna be doing the, and then I'm talking like this. You can hear that of my mouth while I speak. I'm not gonna be doing that shit. I know that's what's popular right now, but I mean I think it's weird, personally. But anyway, so this is kind of what I do usually. I try to get back to the I don't know if I want to say roots, but just to get back to the original concept as close as I can and see where was I going? What was my intent? What was I trying to accomplish here? And I'm just looking for trigger words. I'm not really... Here's the monarchs. Oh, look at that. This is the ancients. Civilization of China. Yeah, so trigger words to kind of see, okay, because I was looking for Mass of the Ancients, what? Or Men of Stone, or some sort of stone men, or I don't know, something of that nature. And that's literally the purpose of this, because once I find that trigger word, I see where it's at, see where it's kind of written, and just, I don't know why I do it, but I do it. It's like going back to the original idea. When was the first time I wrote about this? That's the purpose. I first wrote about this, and there's no year, but if I find it, like, oh, Men of Stone, then I'll kind of see the concept behind it, I guess. The original idea that I was dreaming up, and have I stayed true to it? Is there some kind of thing here that I've forgotten? You know, like, did I forget to add something? That's the title of the book. But yeah, that's all I'm doing. And as I'm going through, sometimes you might like see random things. You're like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. I have to remember that for next time. I never will, but that's why we're recording it now. This is finally a visual video. I mean, it's not that enticing, but it's someone searching through notes and journals and stuff like that. I mean, that's the point of it. That's all it's meant to be. But if I stop somewhere, oh, that's cool. Yeah, the ancient robots is one of those things. It's like, God, should I use that? I'm still thinking about it. I think I've had something about the ancient robots since the beginning.
Where are they?
Oh my goodness, since I don't know what years, man. I would say that within the first few months of the 2014, 13, I don't remember, one of those years. So it's been one of those ideas that I've been kicking around for a while. There's those giant things out in the forests, those lumbering giant things. Still got to use that. A lot of things I still have to use. Hopefully the journals get less and less corny as time goes on, but you know, I think they kind of do. The first one was really rough. That's why I'm not even going to put it on camera. There's things about that one that's like yuck. It's very yucky. That's my dream that I had about the fucking those one.
We will find them.
What Keldug is. This is a very frustrating process, I'll be honest. I don't really enjoy doing this shit at all. Oh my god, it's annoying. But, you know, you gotta do it. You know, a lot of the lore, all that's within these journals to be found. And Sometimes I have those moments where it's like, oh wow, yeah, like I'm staying true to the original concept, and this is kind of like proof. Now, I'm not gonna say it's gonna end where it's like, oh wow, and
Nope.
a big long thing, and But I'll kind of walk through it because this is only going to be journal
Where is
one.
it?
No, sorry, 2 and 3 because 1 didn't have them at all.
Rebels.
Didn't want to record 1 when I knew that it was not in there. The Men of Stone.
Galoo.
I think I was listening to music when I was doing this or something. No, I was listening to like ambient sounds or something. And so I'm going to have to add probably some music or something. A little bit of in the background shit. Oh. Okay. Jesus Christ. Should probably not have that on there. Yes, searching far and wide.
If it's real,
This is Elton John song stuck in my head. Seems like I pass a lot of important things when I'm searching for one particular thing, but that's the point. That's the point of the journals. It's supposed to be this kind of portal. I don't really know how to word it. Like there's these tools that you pass into. It's just like this is the access to the realms, I guess, where that concept came from. Just passing through this unintelligible shit. This into the realm of creation, literally. The realm of creation are these journals. And I'm just siping through it. And if I stay too long, I'm like, fuck, man, I'll get lost. So I just try to look for keywords and key things. So it's the whole point of this is just to be quick. In and out, 'Cause, I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point. A lot of the book is a representation of the creation of this book and the person behind the creation of it. That's the purpose, I guess. I don't know. It was never done on purpose. It just kind of fucking happened that way. But, yeah, that's what these moments feel like. I'm going to their own creation because I'm seeing the creation of this book. It's very early form. It's very rough and just unfinished and just very, sometimes even hard to read because I'm scribbling it down as fast as I can, half asleep, had a notebook next to the bed kind of thing. And some of it I was just sitting down and just kind of releasing a lot of information. So it's a process. But yeah, that's what the whole point of this channel was, to show the process of creation of a book, really, and how this book is I don't want to have any of those stupid like, well, the metaphor for this is probably that, and I think he meant this and that. No, like there's gonna be none of that because you're watching it. You're seeing what the quote metaphors are, and then the allegories and all that shit. Like I'm telling you what it is. The Forgotten King is me. The Realm of Creation are these journals. The book is everything from, it's real simple. It's not too deep. I mean, there are some deeper things within it, and hey man, that's the point.
Who's Nike?
I don't know. No idea. Maybe he was like, maybe he's another Aeon. Nightcrawl and beasts. Yeah, that's kind of the concept behind Down in Kelindre. There's Naki story. Keepers, Sanskrit. I don't know what that is. Ooh, I see the faces coming up. Yes, that's the second rendition of those dog-like people. Some drawings of what I thought the people looked like. Not the best drawer, but I try. I mean, I got nothing else to do, I guess. If I can't visualize it, well, you gotta start trying. Snake him scene. Yeah. Song. Yes, something.
That's the
We go
first
so
time
fast. Hey,
that
look,
they were
look.
mentioned the Men of Stone, but this is the Huddled Men of Stone.
They're different.
The seed has been planted, at least.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, so that would be the first time some sort of Men of Stone have been mentioned. It was kind of a lore thing. Probably just put it in the back of my mind, like, you know, that's cool and all that. It came to me in a dream, and that's sweet, but I'm going to move on from there.
Atta is the way.
Atta.
That's the first time I drew that. The staple.
That's like the beginning of the book. That's the first thing they see. Oh, we're getting to the end. Bitty 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 bitty. I always give myself a section to write in it. Like when you're looking back, write something new. You know, tell me what you saw on this. I never do it.
That's it.
Someone's like, I don't know if I should. I don't want to like tamper. Oh,
When did I mention these
oh!
guys?
Look at that book too. It's done. Take me to the pilot. Bam. Book 3. At this point, I have the names of the cast. For the longest time, I was calling Eris just the hero. Until I was like, I gotta give him a fucking name. And I did. Nakim didn't have a name. He was just the anti-hero or whatever. A lot of things are going on in my life, and I've captured it in this book. This is when I was looking into some weird shit. I don't even know, cult-like shit. Something about the worship of Saturn and the hexagon or the black cube. I don't remember because it's a cube turned on one side, and there was some weird shit, man. Really weird shit. I was just writing about it, whatever I thought. And, you know, I basically took weird fucking things that we believe in, like strange cult things, or what are those things called? Conspiracy theories, and said, what if it was real? You know, and that's the basis of the book. It's just putting in the fears that we have as people into really putting our fears into, I'm trying to think how I would word this. I guess like our conspiracy theory is us trying to understand our world because we're not being told anything, and so I'm trying to capture that as a real world because that's where the growth of fear happens within the book. I guess that's about as simply as I can put it at this point. And what we just saw there was the Slot King becoming a true character is in this area here, and there's the undergrowth right there, past it. But yes, the Slop King. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he's a thing. And you see Martis up there. That was the first time I thought of a guy named Martis. He wasn't a thing. I thought that was supposed to be the name of the Slop King, but unless he's a part of him, I don't know. Maybe he is. I think the little short story world called Strange Magic's coming up. Yeah. Oh, Lord. Looking on the large ruin, Eris could not help but have subtle eeriness. Nestled on the high peaks of Trinity, this old forgotten fortress that even impressively was carved from the mountain itself. 3 large towers shaped into what was guessed to be a triangle. Strange twisted shape of their tops. I can't read this fast because... You can read it. We're just reading this together in our heads. I can't read that fast out loud. This. Hurry up. 40 minutes? Yep. Yes. That's the keeper sign. So yeah, that's a little short story of the original concept. The original concept of Eris going in the mountains. I think I talked about it before. I'm like, didn't he go in the mountains with Alistair at one point? And I just kind of scrapped that. That was kind of the first rough draft of the first rough draft, I guess. I don't know. That's the only way I know how to put it at this point. There's the beginning of the dialogue, the way I'm going to write it and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I should be doing updates at the same time as this video. Like, I don't have formats, man. This is all, I'm learning how to do all this shit. This is not someone who's well-versed in doing stuff like this, so I might have some difficulties when it comes to figuring out a plan of how I want to do this. But there's some cool stuff. I mean, I might just read from the video, or even with the videos moving on, just because, like, man, there's some cool stuff in here. There's some Swedish things. Oh, this is the one where I wrote about Eris the Mural Walls. Interesting. This is a keeper dweller speaking to Eris, this part, and it's probably like, well, I don't get a good chance to read all this. That's fine. You know, he'll read it some other point. Probably talk about it a million times. Because I forget that I've done it. So don't worry about it. Just have it. Shattered walls, huh? Before they happen upon Martis and his minions. Okay. What did I mean by that? Eris navigate out of the maze when he was transcended to a different place, bypass the mortal plague. Oh, I kind of wrote that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Nothingness, really, just powers and stability. Yeah. Could he have deep steps that have been placed to flatten mountain with jagged by the last stand? Alistar did not like leaving us. Oh, this is like Alistar's perspective. This is like, right after that little segment I wrote. What was that called? God damn it. Strange Magic. This is like Alistar's point of view.
Take me to the pilot.
Switching hands. Hands are getting tired. Just fucking holding a camera up by hand because I don't got a better way to do it as of yet. I would love to be able to play the Elton John song, but I can't. Yep. There's a lot that goes into...
What about him?
There's a lot that goes into what I'm... How do I word this? Every little detail. I put a lot of effort
in the land of the forgotten?
Yep. The forgotten is in the realm, I think.
There's a king right there.
Can you imagine, like the whisper? Yeah. See, I try to keep honest to my original concept. That's always my goal. If you have to do that, it's just like I'm trying to stay true to my original vision. And so to do that, I have to kind of go back into it like this. I kind of have to go and find this information just to make sure that there's nothing I missed. I'm 100% true to what the concept originally was in my mind, as beautiful and as fresh and just innocent as it was. I want to stay on that. And that's kind of why I do this, why I take so much effort and time to go into, instead of just writing, you know what I mean? Like, the idea is it's supposed to be layered like the realms. So every concept, every idea has to be layered just as deep as that too. It has to be going back to the beginning of my first imagining of this world. It still rings true and it still is right. And also I limit myself to possibilities from within these journals too. So that's why I'll say, well, is it this or is it that? Because I wrote about those things. I'm not ever really going to stray from original concepts too much. There's some points where I do, and I end up just regretting it. So, but, that doesn't mean I'm not still being... Okay, Endergroth. Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't mean I'm still not being... I'm using fresh, new ideas, because I always do. Sometimes you exhaust all the efforts, and you got to come up with something new. That's when the Jerks Chantry comes in. That's where, the... certain other things that have happened, you got to come up with new things every once in a while because you can't find it. But this is the first thing I always do before it comes to implementing some really new ideas and diving in and creating a concept or a character in very vivid detail. I'm gonna go through this just to make sure that I never mentioned it before, and if I did, how did I mention it, and what does it ring in me? And it's always very. Goddamn, it's like, it's so innocent, it's not really, in detail. It's just very vague and all that because it's an original concept most of the time. And that's what I'm looking for here. You'll see the original concept of Stone and Men was just so bland and so nothing. Like, you could say anything about him at that point, but that's the point. You know, I want to... It allows me to have a jumping point that feels honest to what I was trying to do. That's a little story. That's the giants and those fucking giant creatures that live up in Alabadon.
Masks?
Masks. Just says masks. But yeah, anything that connects to the Masks of the Ancient too. Honestly, the next journals are going to be a lot more fruitful. Bearing fruit? I don't know how you word that. They will be. This one's more of, I don't know. The sun. In the clandestine order, yep. But this one's very, I didn't even know what was going to happen here, so I figured let me just record, like, if I'm going to start making this channel into the creation of this book, well, I got to record all the things I do, and this is definitely a part of it that happens between episodes where I'm in the process of writing about Quinlan for the next episode. So, oh, shit. This is what I'm doing, you know? And I also, the part I didn't record, which I should have, was finding all the Quinlan stuff in the notepads, the legal notepads. I have like 7 or 8 legal notepads full of fucking stuff. And I was sifting through that last night. And so wasn't recorded, but I've already done that. Now this is where I'm going through the journals. And after this, I'm going to start compiling. Then I'm going to start writing. I'm going to start working on the new Quinlan stuff. I got stuff on my phone that I was thinking about with him. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do an episode of the creation of Quinlan. But I thought I'd just show this, and then I got another video to do of 2 more journals looking for the Men of Stone and or Quinlan. As you can see, there is no Quinlan at this point. He's not going to be mentioned for a while. These journals are a span of years. You know, this is not all just done in a few days, obviously, or a few weeks or months. You know, these span eras of my life, you know, things that I've been through in my journey. So you can kind of see in there my writing getting better slowly, but also the experiences that I've been, you know, having. Quotes. INFJs, yeah, that shit.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's such a frustrating fucking time looking for this stuff because you don't know where it is. And I have a problem where I just cannot sit and read every word. I start glazing over. Like, I hate fucking just reading every inch of a word. And like, oh, well, what does it all say? Like, I'm just like, let me just scan through this fucking shit. And I might miss it, but I have a hard time. A Dream Hunter. That's his sign. That's the Dream Hunter. First time I mentioned him. But yeah, it's just, goddamn, dude, I cannot get on with that shit. Right there.
Helmets of the death masks. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
The slow stone men, ancient in time, and only known was what near is near. So they judge by their surroundings. They are related to the
Oh,
huddled
this
stone
is the
men.
first time they're mentioned right here.
The leaders of the
is
stone
it.
men. So taking the main character to the huddled men is a part.
Holy shit.
They were a device to take a character to a
Is there any
fucking
more?
moment. Like,
Let's mark that page.
so while I'm looking for what I'm not going to find, the slow stone men, ancient in time, and only known. They only know what is near. So they're judged by their surroundings. I don't know what the hell that is. They're related to the huddled stone men that I mentioned in the first book or the first one that you saw. That was the men hanging around like that. They are leaders of the stone men. So taking the main character to the huddled men is a part. It was just like, oh, I need like a device for Eris to meet these men of stone, these like stone men that are in this circle, and they're frozen in time to be judged by them or something. Well, why not have moving men of stone take them? And that was it. Like, obviously it was just a device, but the seed was planted. It's there. It's just at that point, it's like, it was in my head, and then all of a sudden they would come up later. We'll find out later just how they evolved into what they become now. I should do this for all of the things. The Fachu, the fucking Serpentine Order, Forgotten King, This is so you can see the growth of an idea and how you should stick with it. Like if this is anything, it's like a guide to help people writing. Stick with your fucking original ideas, dude, because you never know what could come from them. You gotta let them grow. You gotta let them flourish. Oh, there's a section that I want to read out loud that I'm just gonna kind of go slowly. So it's okay, don't worry about it. I will mention it. Hey, I'm reading this, so you don't have to worry about reading it. I just thought, like, this is Nakum. When I reread it, like, years later. I don't know when it comes up, but I'll try to keep an eye out. Oh, this is like my first attempt at writing, like, a darker section, like a scene. It's about a man murdering another man. I don't know who they are. I don't know if it's going to the book. I don't know if I want to use it again later, but it's there. It's a thing. Just an attempt at, like, can I write dark? Because you got to remember, this is really early on, and I didn't know that I was a writer even at this point. I still don't know now. But I was trying. These are dreams. Usually the writing sessions are fucking dreams that I've had that I'm just like, that's so vivid and weird. I want this to be in the book. I want this to be a thing. And that's usually how I write, from dreams, really. Unless it's about dreams, then that's not a real dream, for the most part. They don't happen as much as they used to. The vivid dreams, and I have dreams I can remember every night, but the ones that I use in the book or help me, they don't really happen as much as they used to. Where I don't get woken up with ideas the way I used to do. Like every time I try to go to sleep, I would be getting bothered by my imagination, just running and creating all these new things, and like, oh, write that down. What about this? What about that? Like, it doesn't happen as much anymore. It's kind of sad. I wish it did. Hopefully I get back to there. I didn't have a job, I'll tell you why. Or my job was only part-time, so I had way more time to do this. I miss those days. Maybe we'll be able to get back to it in time.
Means fall into the unknown.
What happened here? Audio. Oh, yeah, this. This is about Nakum. I'm going through God like this, he said, with chest open, exposed, head wrapped in bandages and sunglasses. His arms, like a rooster impression, held the dangling tassels hanging, walking on his journey, gazing ahead to the penetrating sun, eyes fixated to the east. The tired sweat crept down from his back as the warmth of the sun slowly cooked him. It was hot, but no matter, for it would be dark soon. Alone on the road that planted right the center of the desert, arid and dry, he knew some drastic choice must be made if he is to make it through the night. Looking at the starry, vibrant sky, the vast ocean of untamed wonder, clear, clear and unending till it meets the earth. Two large silver towers reach into the sky, sitting alone in the last desert. They climbed to the stars and hung on the edge of what was unobtainable at that age. For what was their purpose? Standing alone amidst endless desert. As he drew closer, not only did they grow larger, but seemed to be covering deeper into the soft yellow sand. With a feeling of longing, he stepped closer, only to find a large sand dune slowly bursting the large mysterious structures. He climbed the mound to meet the silver wall. He felt to be metal. Stumbling onto the sand, he looked to find the hidden door. That's I think it wasn't a dream. It was like that thing you're trying
really
to go
fall
to
into
sleep.
someone's mind. Life is strange.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you're stirring, you're going to sleep, but you're not asleep yet. You're in that kind of like twilight of sleep where you're still awake if someone were to talk to you, but you're falling asleep where shit's starting to get weird in your head. That came to me, walking like a man just walking, doing a rooster impression in the desert like that. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I'm writing him down, and he's like a character, and I'm like, that might be Nakin, but I mean, it might not be. It might be its own person. It's one of those things you just mark it, and then if you need it, you go back to it if it comes to you. That's a great character that belongs in this spot of the book. Then you
The
go
story
do that.
isn't
But
great.
other than
Yeah,
that,
that's about right.
other than that, you just kind of you pass it by. You just mark it and pass it by because you don't want to get hung up on something like, well, what can I make this? Like, no, don't do that. You just let it go. Then come back to it later. If it triggers a memory, then it deserves to be in the book. If you don't remember it again, I don't know. In those moments, it's hard to say. Every moment's different. God, what am I gonna call this?
Nature of what?
Titans? Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
An affirmation that I was true to the idea with the Inaku. That you had that shit written down, like how they were floating in the dark and all this and that. And to all of a sudden, years later, you need to think about something and you say that again, but you don't realize that you did. You don't realize that at this point, it's like an affirmation going back, like, oh my God, I thought I just pulled that out of my ass, but in reality, I always thought that about the Inaku. That's cool. That's kind of why I do this too. It's just, again, am I staying true to the vision that I've had? Like when you own a business, you don't want to you want to make sure they do that thing with like family owned, even though it's corporate family owned, that kind of thing. You got to stay true to the original idea to keep it at its purest. So that's, again, the journals are meant to do that. I'm getting frustrated. I want to get to the end. I'm trying to think of what the fuck can I call this video? How I write? Yeah, How I Write series. Episode 1. Stone, Men of Stone. Yeah, I'll do that. That's whatever. Fuck it. You gotta make sure you have a title that's gonna catch people. Stop. I want the people to find it. Only become what has happened, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's very hard because, like, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing... A lot of the stuff that I'm doing is very personal and very... Like, I'm showing the creation of a book. I'm ruining it, essentially. But I don't know. I just feel like compelled to do this. Like, 'cause what if it's beyond that? What if it's beyond just a fucking book? And it's the creation of a book, you know? That might be the thing that people really like. I don't know, but for some reason I'm compelled to show this book and how it's creation instead of just finished product. Oh yeah, memory. It's my problem. I have a bad memory. That's another reason behind this. There's the first mention of the love-fear spirits. That's when emotions start taking hold and like, well, maybe the bad things and the good things aren't Jedi and Sith, but rather emotions. So then that's where you'll see love and fear. Like, oh wow, that's the stuff. You know, again, it's an idea of inside of your mind. So that's the real enemies are emotions that you have inside of you. So why wouldn't that be in this book? There's another section for me to write into if I ever do. That's it.
That's it. So this is the first time.
That's it, man. There it is again. We are done with this fucking journal. We got 2 more to go. The red one and the yellow one. The yellow one's fucking gnarly, dude. That one's where it's like... It just takes a shift. Anyway, so that's it, I guess. I should probably put an ending to this. Hopefully it was helpful to see how this comes to be and how my mind works and all that and whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. But I'm gonna be heading out then, I guess. So, I mean, I hope this was helpful. There's gonna be more of it. Of the How I Write series. This was episode 1, Finding the Men of Stone. The next one will be episode 2, Finding the Men of Stone, and we're just going to take a little bit of a deeper dive until I think it'll just be a 2-parter. We've only got 2 more journals to go, and then we'll be all good. So, look for that one coming up. That'll be part 2. But anyway, I'm off then. Until next time.
Did you look alive from the windowsill? Did you still see the rain? Did you look alive from the windowsill? Did you still feel the pain? It's got me singing. It's got me singing. It's got me singing.